Welcome, everybody. This is Julie Caricas from the Women Veterans Division of the California Department of Veterans Affairs. This is the first series of our webinars for this year, and like we have done previously, we'll do a review of the 2018 activities we did and then the plans that we have moving forward in 2019. A little differently, not only will we be talking about our division, but also doing just a general overview of the rest of the department. So we'll go through Veteran Services, we'll talk about the Minorities Division, the Home Loan Programs, the Communications Division, and then we'll wrap up later on. So I just wanted to apologize once more that we couldn't get our webinar started on February 4th like we should have. We had a lot of technical difficulties, so we are re-recording for your benefit now. So we have a couple of special guests today who will speak a little bit more in depth about each of these programs. Today we have Joshua Zebley as the CalVet manager in Veteran Services. We also have Philip Liggett from the Mental Health Division of Vet Services, and we also have Pernell Sullivan, who will be speaking in the section of incarcerated veterans, which is a great program. So as an overview again, since we don't really have any housekeeping things to talk about since there's nobody live right now, we'll just move on to speaking about Women Veterans Division first. So in the Women Veterans Affairs, our primary goal is to become the premier advocate for women veterans throughout California and to also lead the nation in support of the women veteran community. And we do this by providing information, advocacy, outreach, and support to California women veterans, especially since we are the fastest growing cohort in the veteran community. And some of the ways that we do this through outreach, it's been amazing. It was amazing last year to find that there have been more and more women veteran events going on as the years progress. And Lindsay and the rest of her staff, of which there are two others, we attended, and Lindsay spoke at over 30 events in 2018. Here on the left, you'll see Lindsay in the middle, Patricia Jackson-Kelly, and also Christine, who are great advocates in the community of LA area and Orange County. And this particular day was a Veterans Resource Day in Whittier, and they provided a lot of comprehensive services to meet the needs of the homeless veteran community. And then on the right was the Women Veterans Day Resource Day at American River College in Northern California, hosted by the Mesa VA Women's Health Center. And they provided a lot of good information to over 200 veterans. And that was a great place that we got a lot of women veterans to sign up for our Women Vets roster, which I'll talk a little bit about more a little later. Some of the other things that we kind of annually do is the Women's Military History Week reception. And every year we conduct this in Sacramento capital. And we honor women, we choose women veterans throughout California with the Women Veterans Trailblazer Award. And this last year's awardees were Ann Reeder Duthin, Kathy Lester, Keo Sato Nunley, and Melissa Washington. On the picture to the left, you'll see Lindsay and then Kathy Lester and Melissa Washington as the two awardees that were able to attend and be honored with a certificate from CalVet. And they also had the opportunity to speak to a lot of the legislators who attended, which is our primary focus, is having legislators from the Capitol come to attend this event to learn a little bit more about the women veteran community and see what we're doing. So that was an excellent opportunity for us to push the women veteran agenda, which was great. Again, in this particular reception, women are honored and recognized for the valuable and important contributions they make to our nation. And this particular one, we had a partnership with City of Sacramento and the Women Veterans Alliance, of which Melissa Washington is the founder and CEO. At this one, we also featured some exhibitions highlighting the influence of women throughout history, with contributions from What Do Women Veterans Look Like campaign, the American Medical Women's Association exhibit, and the California Military Department, California State Military Museum. And if you want to see their pictures and read their bios and see a little bit about the contributions of those exhibitions, I really encourage everybody to take a look at our website to learn more about that on www.calvet.ca.gov/womenvets, plural. And that'll be a great resource for anybody to take a look at. On the right-hand side is also an awesome thing that has been happening every year. It's Operation Dress Code, and this is an opportunity for women veterans to get professional clothing for job opportunities and professional careers. It's also expanded beyond clothing, and they've added awesome resources like resume writing, professional makeup, employment resources. So it's not just clothing, and it's not just an awesome boutique-y-like experience, but it's also beneficial for transitioning back into the civilian world. And so that was really fun. And some of the other things that we did last year was in education and training. We're not doing this year, but last year we actually partnered with the library, with the California State Library's Vets Connect program. They had special grant funding to be able to target women veterans and employment throughout California. And so we went out to Pleasanton, to Fresno, to Hanford, Mammoth Lakes, Oroville, and San Diego. And this was an awesome program. We tailored it specifically to those particular cities, and we chose them based upon the amount of women that were there and the amount of women who needed employment in those particular regions. Each of the workshops was tailored to the city, and the employers and veterans advocates are also selected from that specific area so that women can be connected to actual employers and to actual people who will sit them down. And the workshop also provided lunch. And here on the left is Graciela Tiscareno Sato. She is a White House Champion of Change woman veteran from the Air Force who also does this amazing presentation about how women can brand themselves out of the military and transitioning back into the civilian world. So that's always an amazing presentation that she provides. So the CalVet Women Veterans roster, we started this back in 2012, and we wanted to continue to grow and to reach as many women vets as we can throughout the state. Because what this does is it connects women veterans through a listserv or an email, connecting them and letting them know what the information and the benefits are for them in their particular area. And it connects women by networking them with other women veterans as well. So we try to send out a listserv email update about events or resources that are available in their particular area at least once a month. And currently we have over 8,000 contacts. When you think about California having 143,000 women veterans right now, we need a lot more. So we encourage women vets to continue to tell their friends, and not just women vets, but also advocates of women veterans. If you can also sign up for this so that you can also receive the information that women vets have so you can spread it to your communities. And now we're going to move on to the Veteran Services Division. I will give it over to Joshua Zebley, who is, again, the CalTAP manager for this particular program. He'll speak a little bit about what this program is, why it was created, and why it's important. Josh.
Thanks, Julie. My name is Joshua Zebley. I'm the manager of the California Transition Assistance Program here in VSC. I'm going to give a kind of a quick overview of what CalTAP is, what we've done, and what we plan on doing over the next year. So the main goal of CalTAP is to connect service members, veterans, and their families with the benefits they've earned through their military service. We focus on veterans at all stages of their life, including service members that aren't veterans yet. The reason for doing that is to take a proactive approach. We go to active duty military installations. We're on about 24 of them. We just finished last week and this week with the last two kind of large ones in California with LA Air Force Base and Edwards Air Force Base. We cover every branch, including National Guard, reserves. Our kind of goal for next year or this year is to be at community colleges. We know there's a large population of student veterans, and we really want to make sure that these veterans are utilizing their GI Bill correctly. They're aware of benefits that they possibly might not know about as far as filing disability and compensation claim. We also work a lot with the Women Veterans Division at some of the events that Julian mentioned, the libraries, dress code, and a few others. We have trained and spoke to about 1,200 veterans face to face, and that means exactly that. We've stood in front of them, and they've been able to ask us questions based on their individual situation. We understand that, and our goal is to really understand the needs of veterans. We know that some veterans, they're 22, 23 years old, they get out, they go back home, they maybe even still have their room. They kind of just continue life as it was before they entered the service. And there's also veterans that are, been in the military for 20, 25 years. They're married, they have kids in college or high school, they have a mortgage. Their needs are a lot different than other veterans. So we really focus on understanding the needs of veterans statewide, not just a lot of us, when we think about veterans, we think about 22 to 30-year-old veterans, and that's just not the case, especially in California. It's a very diverse state, and we take a lot of pride, and we do a lot of research on what the needs of veterans are in California. When we go to these active duty military bases and colleges, we have someone from CalHR, the California Department of Human Resources. We have Consumer Affairs, Department of Corrections to join us a few times, somebody from the community colleges, state universities, and probably one of the most important, the County Veteran Service Office, because as we all know, that's where you get connected with a service connection, which opens the door for other benefits that you may not be aware of. And like the guys are going to talk about next, mental health is very important. And if you step foot inside a County Veteran Service Office, they should be asking you a few questions to kind of make sure that you're getting the type of services that you need. We also have CalVet Farm and Home Loans join us and speak about the amazing home loan product that CalVet has. Work for Warriors, which is a state-funded, National Guard ran job type of placement. What they can do is they have contracts with Northrop Grumman all the way down to Target. So any veteran, even veterans' family that is looking for employment, Work for Warriors can help. It's all about making a veteran household benefit from Work for Warriors. We plan next year to do about 50 outreach events, and that includes DoD installations and community colleges, and we're already scheduled to about 40 throughout the year. So we see it increasing this year, and we increase in working with the women veterans also. At the bottom of the slide there, you'll see our website. We have 4 pathways. We have a core curriculum that talks mostly about California-specific benefits. That's going to be the home loan, CalVet tuition fee waiver, the waiver for fishing and hunting license, and things like that. We also have entrepreneurship pathway, special education, and employment. So part of CalTAP is joined by the links, and the links are the local interagency network coordinators, and the links are divided up into 8 regions all throughout California. And the kind of easiest way to describe the links is they're the boots on the ground in their specific region, and you can see the regions there. Some of them have very large regions. Los Angeles, that's Anthony Rodriguez. He has Los Angeles and Ventura. So he is the only person from CalVet that is really in tune to what's going on in Los Angeles County. Anthony reports back to Sacramento kind of demographics on the veterans down there, and he is exactly like the name says. He links veterans to their benefits. Anthony knows what companies are looking to hire veterans in LA, what schools are very veteran friendly, and that goes for every link in their region. That's their job. I mean, they're kind of first responders. A lot of the fires up in Northern California and Southern California, the links were there at the disaster area at the center there, kind of making sure the veterans knew how to recover their lost property, DD-214s, medals, anything like that. The links were there to assist veterans to obtain the information they may have lost. And as always, if anyone needs has any questions for CalTAP, or you can definitely contact Jolene, and she can give me an email or send out my information. Right, Jolene?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, Josh, for for your participation. Really appreciate your insight. So this next slide, it's just talking really briefly about the VA claims process. And so CalVet actually doesn't provide any direct services, but CalVet is responsible for training the County Veteran Service officers who conduct VA disability claims. And so this is just a quick overview of last year on kind of the stats on what the County Veteran Services offices conducted through the district offices of CalVet. And the next slide, we'll be talking a lot more about Prop 63, and Philip Liggett will talk a little bit more about what that program and that prop is about and why it's important. All right, so let me just move on to the next slide for you. All right.
Good morning. My name is Philip Liggett. I'm with Vet Services Division, and today I'm here to talk to you a little bit about our Prop 63 program. Currently, I help oversee our Prop 63 program. This passage of Prop 63 Mental Health Services Act in November 2004 increased funding, personnel, and other resources to support county mental health programs, including veterans and their families. So each year, what we do is we provide the counties with an RFA, which is a request for application, and we give them an opportunity to submit applications for their mental health grant. This year, or actually for the fiscal year 18-19, we had 7 participants, and we were able to distribute $270,000. The participating counties include Contra Costa, Imperial, Los Angeles, Nevada, Orange, Solano, and Tulare counties. And right now, Contra Costa, their focus and what they use the funds for is they actually have a public access TV show called Veterans with Voices, and each month they provide veterans through the TV, Facebook, I believe YouTube, with special TV shows that focus on veteran services, benefits, and what veterans need to talk about. Contra Costa County, they're actually using the funds for legal services. They're providing veterans free legal services each week through the office at Orange County CVSO, and they're working with a program called Veterans Legal Institute, which provides pro bono services to veterans. And Solano County, they focus their funds on stand-downs, transitioning soldiers, and incarcerated veterans. The good news this year, CalVet actually is receiving $1 million extra in funding to provide to counties throughout California. So we're going to be able to reach a lot more veterans with this money, and we're going to be able to fund a lot more counties to help enhance and expand their mental health program.
Thank you very much, Philip. That's an amazing program that we really encourage all counties to be able to access and to be able to also try and follow the footsteps of these previous counties, because these are great programs that outreach to a lot of veterans, especially in the mental health department, which is needed a lot.
Definitely.
Thanks, Phil. And so I will turn the time over to Pernell Sullivan. And let me just change it. All right, Phil, you're on.
All right. How are you guys doing today? My name is Pernell Sullivan. I also work with the Veterans Service Division. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the Incarcerated Veterans Group Outreach Program. Basically, our program, we work with CDCR in order to visit the prison groups that are currently inside of the institutions. Inside of the institution, there's anywhere between 2 to 4 different groups, and we meet with them to talk to them about their benefits and services and let them know that they still have access to these services. A lot of our incarcerated veterans don't know that they can still access the benefits for their dependents. They also have certain programs called apportionment, where they can give part of the funds to their family outside of the wall. And then there's also other programs that can help set them up for when they actually get out of incarceration. So we've been to a number of different prisons throughout California, and basically, like I said, providing them that information, and also with the veterans resource books, just to make sure that they understand exactly, what their options are, even though that they are incarcerated. So now we're going to go to the next slide. And we're going to talk to you a little bit about the Incarcerated Veterans Mailing Outreach Program that we have here at CalVet. Now, it's important that we educate our veterans, especially our incarcerated veterans, because a lot of times they don't have access to the outside world outside of mailing and or programs like ours that come into the prisons and talk to them. So one of the things that we've done is we took a dual-prong approach as far as contacting veterans and sending them information. So we have a list that we have gotten from CDCR that tells us when those veterans are currently up for release, even though that can change. It lets us know when they're getting close to their release date. And with that, we send them a letter that provides all the information for when they're released, which is information on housing, information on how to restart benefits. Also, we work with the Federal Department of VA to work with them on getting, the paperwork to sign up for their medical information, just how to get everything restarted so that way they can acclimate back into their communities. We also send out a letter to those that are newly incarcerated. So what a lot of the newly incarcerated folks don't understand and may not know, because it's a hectic time at that time period, is that they have to, if they are receiving benefits, they have to let the federal VA know that they're being incarcerated, because if they continue to get payment, they can get docked for that as when they're released. And of course, that'll be prime time for when they need those funds in order to get everything restarted and, like I said, reacclimate back into their community. So we provide these letters from CalVet to those veterans, just to kind of inform them about what's going on and the different actions that they need to take, as well as providing them with those documents to do so. All right. So the next slide here that we're going to talk about a little bit is our stand downs. It used to be that we had funds to use for the actual stand downs. Now we just support by attending the events and then also publicizing and advertising the events that they have throughout California. Stand down time is normally towards the end of the year, but as the years have gone on, everything, it comes all through the year. And even though the event may not be called just a stand down, it may have a lot of stand down like qualities. And because we've had a lot of veterans get the support and there's a lot more housing, there's a lot more of a focus on these actual stand downs. So for those that don't know what a stand down is, it's normally a 3-day event where homeless veterans are, they come in and they receive services. And those services can be anything from dental help to court services. So there is a judge that comes in and provides legal assistance for these veterans, and that's anything from dismissing fines. As you can see, they would do dismissal, and you can do community service at that actual stand down in order to get rid of those fines. And we're talking hefty fines. So as most people may not know, if you're homeless, a lot of times you pick up just random things. It may be being public intoxication or loitering or light rail tickets or fees or things of that nature. You can go into the courts and get everything knocked out that weekend. And that's pretty much the goal, is that you don't have anything lingering on past that weekend or past that event. So they're able to do that. There's also a lot of volunteering opportunities for these stand downs events. So if you feel like you want to get involved and you want to be able to help, please reach out to CalVet. We'll let you know when those stand downs are happening, and then get you in contact with those project coordinators in order to help out. Like I said before, it used to be that it was just targeted for homeless veterans. Really, now they want any type of veteran to come out, because whether you're homeless, at risk for homelessness, or you just want to come out and find out more about what's going on in your community surrounding different veterans, it's very beneficial to do that. So I highly recommend that you get in contact with them and have the chance to enjoy a stand-up.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Phil, for explaining that program to us.
No problem.
And so we actually so we're moving on to talking about the Veterans Housing and Homelessness Prevention Program. And I was actually going to talk a little bit about this, but we have a subject matter expert who just showed up, Jennifer Hubbard-Beath. She is kind of one of the new staff that's a part of this program, and she is going to talk a little bit about what the program is, what they've done, and kind of moving forward on what they will be doing this year. Hi, Jennifer. I'm sorry to put you on the spot. I really appreciate you coming up. She literally had no idea she was coming up today.
I just walked in.
So I really appreciate her her expertise on talking about this program to us.
All right. Like she said, my name is Jennifer Hubbard-Beath, and I work in the Veterans Housing and Homelessness Prevention Program. So what does that mean? Basically, CalVet, in partnership with HCD, is Housing and Community Development, have $600 million to provide housing to homeless veterans and affordable housing as well through a competitive process. So these are loans, they are not grants, that we provide to developers, and in return for setting aside a quarter of their units for veterans, we will help provide them low interest loans to their programs, their development of these units. And part of it is, in addition to the affordable housing, the homeless and chronically homeless housing units have supportive services. So, you know, our veterans have served us, so we're trying to serve them, get them off the streets, and provide them with a shelter. And then once they get stabilized, we can offer on-site help with mental health, physical health. It's in collaboration with the VA and other community partnerships. They have links to the COCs, the CECs, and other homeless programs to try to get the veterans in there. And then they have just a whole bunch of supportive services to wrap around the veterans so that when they're ready to, you know, better their lives, that those are available to them. But first we want to get them housed, and that's what Housing First is all about. Get them housed first, get them stable, and then we can provide them the services to help better their lives.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jennifer. So really quick, though, I get this question asked a lot. When somebody says VHHP, so this is the bigger picture. This is given to actual organizations or developers, this funding. Now, if an organization was interested in applying for this funding, how would they do that?
So this is a competitive process. So about every 14 to 16 months, we have a NOFA, or Notice of Funding Availability, that comes out. The next one is due August 28th. There's about for the funding availability, and there will be workshops to talk about the application and how to apply. And those will be actually posted on HCD, Housing and Community Development website for the VHHP program. And we do have some projects that have already come available. The other question I often get is, how do people get into those units? And the quickest way is to, if they're eligible for VA services, is to go to a local VA and ask about housing, and they can get in that way. If you are not eligible for VA housing, you can go through homeless programs, get connected with any homeless programs. The Continuum of Care programs will put you in the system. So you do not have to necessarily have an honorable discharge to access these housing units. These are open to all veterans, no matter what type of discharge that they have.
Awesome. Thank you very much for clarifying that. I really appreciate that. And thanks for the last minute poll, Jennifer. I really appreciate that. All right, thank you. So moving on, I'd like to talk a little bit about the Minority Veterans Affairs or Division that's here at CalVet. A little bit about what they're up to and what they will be doing this coming up year. So Deputy Secretary Elizabeth Perez heads up this department as almost a one-woman show since she's been here for the last couple of years. She's recently gotten new staff, and so it's exciting that she'll be able to do a lot of the things that she has set out for herself. So to talk a little bit about what she has done in 2018, some of the highlights, one of the bigger highlights, is that she was able to create two first-of-its-kind programs at CalVet. The first one was the CalVet Pathway to Citizenship program. And what this did and does is it connects veterans and their families who don't have citizenship, and it gives them contacts and networking to legal aid and to all the proper departments and authorities within California to be able to get them citizenship. And they've assisted over 63 veterans and their family members since last year. And the second program they developed is the first Tribal Veteran Representative. And what that is we provide training in California that provides tribal members and tribal organizations with resources and training to give them the skills necessary to assist Native American veterans in accessing their benefits and their services. Now, the first training that they had was 2 days, and they actually just did that January 23rd. And they also noticed that in one of the sussing out of trying to find out what are the needs for this underrepresented population, they found out from the CalVet Benefits and Claims Day from March 2018 to June 2018 that Native Americans and rural veterans need to be able to connect to their claims a little more directly because they're so spread out and they're just really isolated from the mainstream. And so through this TVR program and training, we have assisted over 93 Native Americans and rural veterans with their benefits. And so it's really important to recognize that although we are all veterans, there are historical challenges that minority and underrepresented veterans face. And some of the challenges that Deputy Secretary Perez found was that a lot of it was economic challenges. And it's not on this slide, but I want to talk a little bit about this huge program that she has been given to be able to expand. And it's with the joint effort of the U.S. DVA, the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, the Department of General Services, the Fresno Small Business Association, the National Association for Black Veterans, American Indian Chamber of California, and the Orange County Black Chamber. They were able to partner and to train over 120 veterans in entrepreneurship, how to get certified as a disabled veteran business enterprise, and how to create opportunities in government contracting. Because once you get hooked up and connected with the state government, your business can expand a lot faster and a lot farther. So in addition, most of 2018 was outreach with a lot of listening to the needs of minority and underrepresented veterans across the state. Deputy Secretary Perez has heard what some of the concerns were, and she's very excited to start off this 2019 with more staff, new staff, and to be able to expand these programs a lot faster than she had hoped for. And so for 2019 goals, she really, really wants to double up on the amount of veterans and family members who can be helped through the CalVet Pathway to Citizenship program. So please make sure that you keep an eye out on our website, the CalVet's website, www.calvet.ca.gov, and take a look at when the next training is for both the TVR and for the CalVet Pathway to Citizenship program, because those are starting up pretty quickly. Not only does she want to expand the amount and double the amount of TVRs and citizenships that throughout this year, she also wants to ensure that the DVBE program is also expanded. And she wants to enhance that by kicking off the CalVet State Department DVBE advocate training for state agencies that want to get informed about how to increase their DVBE numbers. And she also would like to start a small business mentoring program. So keep an eye on her website for that kind of information as well. And she also wants to do in June of 2019, oh, I'm sorry, I thought I was on the next slide. I apologize. Here's the slide for all the some of the things I was talking about. So the other thing that she wants to do this year is she plans to celebrate Pride Month by having a panel discussion of some of the challenges that the LGBTQ veteran population faces, and then try and end the discussion with introducing their first CalVet LGBTQ inclusion program, which will encompass veteran entrepreneurship, DVBE opportunities, CalVet home loans, claim and benefits info, and assistance, and just to provide some basic local resources for LGBTQ veterans. And again, just to touch again on the DVBE program, once more, she does want to increase the DVBE's program by 15% with more outreach and training through her DVBE Advisory Council Mentor Protege program is what it's called. So she plans to pilot this with a kickoff on the fourth quarter of 2019. So keep your eyes peeled on being able to be a part of that program, because it'll be exciting, because we've noticed that just speaking in our division, that women veterans themselves, they tend to want to become entrepreneurs rather than taking on traditional jobs. So we're very excited to see this Mentor Protege program kick off as well. And next, I was talking about the home loan program. The CalVet home loan program is an awesome thing. I have it. I utilize it. I bought my home with the CalVet home loan program, and so did Deputy Secretary Lindsay Sin, my boss. She also has it. So we can testify to its usage, to its how it changed how it changed our lives, and how it is really a great program that helps veterans to get them into homes. So a little bit about the home loan program. There was 558 veterans that took advantage of this program last year. And interestingly, women are 13% of the total primary borrowers in the home loan program, which is amazing. Great job, women vets. And so we continue to encourage veterans to take a look at the CalVet home loan program. And again, you can take a look at that and even apply on our website, www.calvet.ca.gov. And next inside the homes division is the CalVet's Residential Enriched Neighborhood Program, or REN. And this program is similar to Habitat for Humanity. It creates housing that's affordable, and it allows the people who have been chosen to get in these homes to build their homes themselves. And currently there are approved pilot projects that are to build 26 affordable homes in Jurabuk Valley and 56 homes in Palmdale. And this helps lower income veteran families. So keep an eye on those as well. They are very few, and they are still pilot programs. So keep an eye on how you can also be a part of that moving forward. Now, in our Veterans Homes Division, we are also, they're doing great things as well. So this is a short slide that kind of talks about our veteran homes programs that are all throughout California. They are providing health care to 2,400 veterans and their spouses, and they are, our CalVet homes are now in the top 20% of the homes rated in the nation. And only 10% of the Medicare-rated homes in the state actually receive 5 stars. And we have been getting 4 out of 5 pretty consistently, so we're proud of that. And if you'd like to apply for one of our veterans homes, they go all the way from Yountville all the way down to Chula Vista Veteran Homes. And you can take a look at all of our homes at www.calvet.ca.gov. And we highly encourage you guys to apply, because it is a very long waiting list at this point. And some have some openings, but take a look at that. And in our communications division, we would really just like to push out being able to connect on our CalVet Connect webpage. And it's kind of this really cool place to be able to get a lot of the ongoing updated information about what's going on at CalVet. There's blogs, there's opportunities to be able to comment and to share the information on various social medias. And you can subscribe and receive daily information at calvetconnectblog.com. It's also on the website. So really encourage you guys to do that. Now, moving forward, more importantly, just kidding, to some of the goals that we as the division want to move on this year. So we continue, as I said earlier, we want to bring back our statewide webinars and be a little bit more purposeful and consistent with our information. So with the statewide webinars, we would like to start these back up again this year, bi-monthly, for the rest of our duration, because this is a great way for women veterans to get connected on information and services and to be able to ask us a bunch of questions. And I apologize again for the technical difficulties earlier this month, but we're here now and trying to give this information to you now. And because next month is Women's History Month, the national recognized one, we are actually going to have a special Women Veterans statewide webinar presentation that kind of talks about how women can serve and lead again in their respective communities. We really want to talk about how, because a lot of veterans who get out of the military, they sometimes fall into a rut where they are no longer a part of a community or camaraderie. And so we find that women veterans are no different, and they also want to do something in their communities. We want to be a part of it again. And so this particular webinar is going to talk about how you can start becoming involved in your communities. And we have special presenters in that particular webinar of awesome women veterans who are leaders in their communities and how they've started women veteran organizations. And they'll talk to you a little bit how they started, why they started, and how they continue to help their community. So please get with us or join us for that one. That will be March 13th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. That's a Wednesday. And please join us for that. And we will have that on our listserv that goes out to our Women Veterans roster. We've already sent out the information. If you would like that information, please visit our website at www.calvet.ca.gov/womenvets, plural. And I'll give you the details on how you can join and how you can ask questions and be more interactive. Next is our women's reception. We are now holding those in October, and this particular one, 2019, we are currently looking for venues. And again, our women's reception is really an opportunity for our state legislators here at the Capitol to come together to learn about the women veteran community and to recognize some of the amazing things that they're doing. And it's also an opportunity for CalVet to really just honor and recognize the contributions of women veteran as a community, because it's still a prevalent problem where women vets just don't think that they're veterans, and so we need to continue to break through those kinds of barriers and continue to provide training and just basic education. And with all these events that are popping up throughout Women's History Month, it's great to see them have events that particularly recognize women veterans. The next project that we're working on this year is our County Veteran Service Office officer report on women veterans in California. This has been a project that we've been working on for a couple of years now. And what we did is we surveyed the county veteran service officers throughout California. And we asked them specific questions on how they outreach with women veterans, what that feedback looks like, what they think they can do better. And we've also garnered a lot of best practices from some of the leading CVSOs in California. And we're going to help conduct training on how we can really target some of the CVSOs that might need some extra help, and really partnering with them to be able to spread more education and data about how women veterans want to interact with the VA and the benefits and their services. So that's very exciting to see. And we want to talk a little bit about the Office of Inspector General's report that did an MST. They found a couple of interesting things about MST-related claims. So this report really targeted some of the claims that were completed from the VA from the fiscal year 2015 to 17, and they found that 49% of claims that were related to MST were incorrectly processed and denied. And that's a lot, and it's concerning. And so our division is going to take that on and continue to work with legislators to speak with the VA to talk about a little bit more how we can be more effective and helpful in supporting MST-related claims. So we're excited to start that. We also want to push the California Women Veterans Leadership Council. It is an amazing opportunity for women veteran leaders. Now, this is only for women vets because we want women veterans talking about women veteran issues. And so this membership is completed by, is conducted by volunteers, complete volunteers, women veterans throughout California. And they come together to try and to talk about what is most important for women veterans in California and how they can support and help that. And so we need more leaders, and we need more go-getters out there. So please consider becoming a member of the council. And that you can learn more information on our website as well. It's at calvet.ca.gov/womenvets. The last slide will also have our website in case that you need to actually see that. We also want to encourage people to check out the Women Vets on Point pilot program. Excuse me. It's a pilot program that started last year with the chair of the council, Christine. She is an amazing advocate for women vets. She's also a woman veteran, and she has created the womenvetsonpoint.org that kind of tracks helping women veterans with a lot of their mental health issues, and from mental health can kind of provide a whole wraparound services in trying to better themselves and transition out of some of the trauma that they're dealing with. And these are she's actually connecting women veterans with actual vetted organizations, and it's a warm handoff of people that she knows or organizations that are known. So that is happening in Los Angeles right now, and if it's successful, they're hoping to be able to spread this throughout California and then the nation moving on. So that's an exciting program that we would like to also to recognize and to continue to push on. Well, folks, that is the end of our webinar. Normally, we leave the last 10 to 15 minutes for questions. But again, this is just a straight recording. But if you listen to the whole thing and you have any questions, especially in those Veteran Services Division pieces, please reach out to us at our website at calvet.ca.gov/womenvets. You can also directly call us at 916-653-1402. We highly encourage you to ask us just directly any questions you have. We did have some great subject matter experts with Joshua Zebley, Philip Leggett, Pernell Sullivan, and lastly, Jennifer Hubbard-Beef to come on here and speak a little bit with more detail and authority on those particular programs. Now, I know housing is huge and mental health issues are huge, so if you have any questions about their particular programs, please reach out to us at our division and we can connect them to you. Again, our phone number is 916-653-1402. Thank you, folks, again for being so very patient with us as we were transitioning and testing out new software. Again, I want to leave you again with joining us at our next special presentation of a statewide webinar in March 13th, Wednesday, from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. If you need the details of the phone numbers and the web link, please contact us at womenveterans@calvet.ca.gov or directly call us. Again, thank you, folks, very much for your patience. We really appreciate you. Have a great day.